Hello and welcome to the Omnia Sol Art Show Holiday Special. I am your host, Omnia Sol. We've got a great show for you tonight, folks. I hope that you are as excited as I am. It is the winter holiday season. So from everyone here at TOSAS, which is just me, we want to say a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, a Happy Hanukkah, a Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Winter Solstice. And if there's any holidays that I'm forgetting, we here at TOSAS just wish you a happy and merry all winter holidays this year. Welcome to the holiday special. I am your host, Omnia Sol. We got a great show for you tonight. We are glitching a variety of different Christmas movies this evening or day or whenever you're watching. We are glitching, of course, what we're watching right now is the famous live action Grinch with Jim Carrey, which was never one of my favorites, but it is my friend Jordan's favorite movie of all time. So had to include it because it's Christmas. You got to include the Grinch. We are also glitching Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol, which is my mom's favorite Christmas movie. We are glitching a Hamtaro episode, a Christmas episode of Hamtaro, as well as some Peanuts Christmas, because it's not Christmas without the Peanuts, especially, I can't include that soundtrack on this show, get a copyright claim, but anyone who's listened to the Peanuts Christmas music knows that it's just incredible. Nothing gets you in the Christmas spirit quite like the Peanuts Christmas music. We are also glitching my favorite Christmas movie, one of the greatest films of all time, a psychedelic masterpiece. We are going to be glitching some of the footage from the Star Wars holiday special that George Lucas has tried to bury, but I swear to the ghosts of Christmas past that history will absolve the Star Wars holiday special as the magnum opus of George Lucas, the greatest film he has ever made in his entire career. We are going to be glitching that tonight. And of course, for legal reasons, I have to review all these movies. So I'm going to go ahead and give these movies all 5 out of 5 videotapes. And if any copyright holders have a problem with me using the footage, of course, the footage that I use in small amounts is only being used for review purposes. So 5 out of 5 videotapes is my review for these movies. So another fun thing that we are doing for the TOSAS holiday special, because I am the TOSAS hostess with the mostest, I reached out to some fans, some friends, to call the number that it's the same number every episode, but it's 262-612-3069. I reached out to some friends and some fans and asked for people to leave their favorite winter holiday memory as a voicemail. So we got some of those. I'm very excited for you to hear them. We're going to go ahead and play our first one from a very dear friend of mine, D'Angelo, who called in and left a message. So without further ado, here is D'Angelo's favorite winter holiday memory.
I have a great holiday story for you. I'd say it was last year. I had spent Christmas with my fiance and her family for the first time. Never spent Christmas with them before. It was Christmas morning. We were hanging out. Her aunt and uncle were over, and we were just talking about traditions, and they asked, oh, what do you do for traditions? And I say, well, every Christmas I watch the greatest Christmas movie of all time, which is, of course, Jingle All the Way. None of them had ever heard of Jingle All the Way, and they were asking if I was going to watch it, but I had left my Blu-ray copy with the extended edition at home. And they were adamant about watching it with me. And I said, no, it's okay. I mean, I'll watch it later. I know if you've never seen it before, it might not be as good as it was in the 90s, but they were adamant about watching it. And so we actually rented the copy from Amazon. We rented the copy of Jingle All the Way from Amazon, and we started watching it Christmas morning. The younger kids found it to be pretty corny. It was funny here and there, but overall it was meh. But the parents absolutely loved the movie. They were laughing throughout the whole time. But my favorite was at the very end when Jamie finds out that his dad is actually Turbo Man in the parade. My uncle started crying because he thought it was such the sweetest thing ever that that he did that, and that Jamie gave the Turbo Man away to Sinbad, America's Sweetheart. But I thought that was just the funniest thing ever, that I don't know about watching the movie, but there was also tears at the end, and that just goes to show that Jingle All the Way is the greatest Christmas movie that was ever created, and I think nothing that even ever comes close. So that is my holiday story.
So thank you to D'Angelo for that wonderful, wonderful Christmas memory. Warms my heart, warms my soul. And I just want to say that, since I was able to glitch some Jingle All the Way footage for that segment, I didn't want to give that away in the introduction because I wanted it to be a surprise for D'Angelo. I just want to go ahead and give a review for Jingle All the Way. 5 out of 5 videotapes. It's a great movie. Check it out. Show your fiance's family. They'll cry. They'll bring a tear to their eyes. Jingle All the Way. Can't recommend it enough. 5 out of 5 videotapes. All right, folks. Without further ado, it is time for the holiday edition of one of our favorite segments at TOSAS. You all probably know what it is by now. It is time for the holiday edition of What am I drinking tonight? So tonight, in honor of the holiday special, I am getting my nog on. I am having some eggnog. I'm a real nog head, or as we call it in the nog head fandom, the eggnog fandom, we call ourselves the noggins. I'm a real noggin. I love me some eggnog, but folks, you gotta put nutmeg on your eggnog. You can't go around putting cinnamon on your nutmeg. You gotta put cinnamon on your eggnog. You gotta put nutmeg on your eggnog, not cinnamon, unless you're allergic to nutmeg, in which case you're allowed to use cinnamon. But if you're not allergic, you got to use nutmeg. It's the only way to drink eggnog. And, even so, I am completely alcohol free, but even when I wasn't alcohol free, when I did drink alcohol, I was never a big fan of adding booze to the nog. It just, for me personally, the nog is good enough. You don't need to put booze in your nog. Just put a little nutmeg on top, and you have yourself a nice holiday treat. And also, I'm drinking some ice water as well, because although I'm getting my nog on, it's important to stay hydrated at all times. So I hope you enjoyed this holiday edition of one of my favorite segments. What am I drinking tonight? So this is not Star Wars related. Wait, no, it is Star Wars related. This is not holiday related. It's not Christmas related. But I just want to go on record and say that in previous episodes, at least one previous episode, I don't know if it was one of the main shows or if it was one of the live episodes behind the Patreon paywall, but I remember talking shit about the Mandalorian just based on the first season and based on just being so rubbed the wrong way by the Rise of Skywalker. And I just want to go on record and say that I was wrong. I was wrong. Mandalorian season 2 is so good. It's so fun. I'm only a couple episodes in, so no spoilers. I haven't caught up. I think the main reason I'm bringing this up is watching the Star Wars Christmas special and glitching it in preparation for the show. But yeah, the Mandalorian's great. It's so good, and the scenes. I don't know if it's on Hoth, but the scenes on the snow planet. I was watching that today, and it just reminds me of the holidays. I'm dreaming of a Hoth Christmas with the Mandalorian. And Baby Yoda is so cute. I totally understand why Werner Herzog was brought to tears looking at that little puppet, because wow, what a cute puppet, I gotta say. Let's go ahead and play our first song of the night. So I am very excited for the music we have for the holiday special tonight. We are actually playing songs from Lifted Lo-Fi Records. The Lifted Lo-Fi Records released their year 1 anniversary tape. So it's Lifted Lo-Fi Anniversary Winter Vibes year 1. And when I found out about this, I was like, okay, definitely got to get these songs on the show. So the first song of the night from which is on the tape, which is streaming everywhere, so you can go check it out, is a song called Winter Cafe by Trebly. So it's streaming on all platforms, so go on Spotify or Apple Music or whatever you use, search Lifted Lo-Fi Records, and you'll find the Lifted Lo-Fi Anniversary Winter Vibes Year 1, and you'll find the song Winter Cafe by Trebly. I think you really like it. I really like it. And you can find out more about Trebly's music at Trebly Music on Instagram, and I will go ahead and link that in the show notes. So go ahead and click that link, check out Trebly Music, and go support the artists who make this show possible. All right. Thank you so much to Trebly for Winter Cafe, and another big shout out to Lifted Lo-Fi Records for letting me use the music on the show. And once again, you can find this album, Lifted Lo-Fi Anniversary Winter Vibes Year 1. It's streaming on all platforms, so use Spotify, use Apple Music. There's probably some other ones out there, but those are the two big ones that I know of. So go check it out. Go show them some love. Go support the musicians who make this show possible, who are, helping me bring you the best winter holiday special possible. And I think it's time to move on to the next segment of the show. Hope you're ready. All right, so it is time for a very special section of the show. The section of the show where I read your tarot card. It is time for Card of the Show. Now, for this version of Card of the Show, since it is the holiday special, we are going to go ahead and do a reading. We're still going to do a 1-card reading, but it is going to be your card for the new year. What do you have in store for the new year? So whatever card it is, that's your card for the new year, what to look out for in 2021. All right, so let's go ahead with shuffle number 1. Shuffle number dos. And, of course, the grand finale, shuffle number 3, coming on up. All right, let's see what our card of the show is today. So the card of the show today is the 6 of Cups. So this card has to do a lot with the past catching up with you in a good way. It has to do with kind of like childhood memories, which is great for the holiday special because a lot of time childhood memories are, you kind of associate it with Christmas. A lot of childhood memories associated with that, but who knows exactly what this means to you. But as far as what it shows, kind of like one child who's a little bit older handing another child a cup that is has a rose in it. So kind of looking back on the past, taking what was good about the past, and let's go ahead and see what our tarot app has to say about this card. The 6 of Cups. Happiness, enjoyment, past memories, a gift, new knowledge, new opportunities, past acquaintances. This is a card of great happiness. Your past is catching up with you, but in a positive way. Good actions from your past are now bearing fruit, and what follows is joy and happiness. It can also indicate a meeting with a soulmate or past acquaintance, resulting in a pure, innocent love. New opportunities and knowledge are certainly on the horizon, possibly even unexpected gifts. It can indicate the birth of twins. All right, folks, so take that advice, apply it to your life as you see fit, because that was your holiday edition of Card of the Show. All right, so we are going to go ahead and play another winter holiday voicemail. This is a message from Katie, so let's go ahead and see what Katie has to say.
Hi. There is no such thing as a good Christmas, and this year is no exception.
Well, I know a lot of us Christmas fans out there are Christmas heads, Santa heads out there might think of Katie as being somewhat of a Grinch, somewhat of a Scrooge McDuck about the holiday season. But let's just keep in mind that the holidays are not for everyone. Especially these holidays. It's been so, just destroyed by consumerism And we got to get back to what's the real spirit of the winter holidays, which I don't really know. Maybe it's giving, maybe it's being together with the ones you love. Maybe it's eating candy. Maybe it's and invoking the long forgotten deities of winter and death and rebirth. So let's go ahead and play another message. This one is from Ronnie. Let's see what Ronnie has to say.
Hello. One of my favorite Christmas memories is going to New York City to try to see the Rockefeller tree, and I was nearly crushed by a horde of hundreds and hundreds of people, all eager to see the same tree, and all pushing each other and screaming. Some people were crying because they were being squished, and I did get to go see the tree, but it took a long time and was almost crushed. Bye.
Okay, well, thank you, Ronnie, for that crushing holiday story, and thank you to Katie for the message as well. And we are going to go ahead and play our second song of the night. So our second song of the night is by an artist you may recognize from previous shows, an artist named Bice. The song is called New Pillow, and you can find this song on the Lifted Lo-Fi Anniversary Winter Vibes Year 1 album. So go check out the album. There's a ton of songs, 17 songs to be exact. So go check it out, listen to Bice, support this album, and go check out Bice's stuff at Bice Stew on Instagram. And we'll be back with you after this song. All right, folks, that was New Pillow by Bice off of the Lifted Lo-Fi Anniversary Winter Vibes Year 1. So go check it out. If you like lo-fi hip-hop or you love lo-fi hip-hop, then this is the album for you. We need new Christmas music, and Lifted Lo-Fi is here to help. Enough of that Mariah Carey bullshit. Let's get some fucking lo-fi hip-hop beats this Christmas. My apologies to all the Mariah Carey fans out there. Didn't mean to offend anyone, but I used to be a fan of that song as well. I can't take it any longer. Well, folks, I think it's time for some more holiday story voicemails. This next voicemail is from a person named Reverend Goodshine. And I haven't listened to this message ahead of time, so I'm not exactly sure what it's going to say. But I'm sure the Reverend Goodshine has some positive words on this holiday special. Maybe the good Reverend will remind us of the true meaning of Christmas. So let's see what Reverend Goodshine has to say. Well, that was strange, to say the least. Seems that Reverend Goodshine seems to be having some sort of respiratory issue. Get well soon, Rev. You know, hopefully the good Reverend is not possessed by some sort of demon, or maybe Krampus got him. Maybe the legendary Krampus from the movie Krampus got the good Reverend Goodshine. But get well soon from everyone here at TOSAS. Get well soon, Reverend Goodshine. Our next winter holiday voicemail is coming to us from my good friend Talia, and I promise it is much more normal than whatever Reverend Goodshine has going on. So without further ado, take it away, Talia.
Hello. So my favorite winter holiday story probably was when I was like 7 or 8. It was just after my parents had gotten divorced and I had started to, also this is not because my parents are getting divorced, but I started to question Santa Claus and if he was real and ask a lot of questions about it, and nobody's really answering my questions. I felt like they were dodging me. So obviously this was a very pivotal time developmentally speaking. And so I woke up our first Christmas in 2 different houses, which is great, by the way. But I woke up at my dad's house, and I had unwrapped this Barbie. It's like some rock star Barbie. She was beautiful. It was actually Barbie's black friend, Christine, maybe. But she was just amazing, and I loved Barbies at the time. And I opened it. I was so excited, and then my dad drove me over to my mom so I could open my other gifts. And when I got there, I opened a gift under the tree, and it was the exact same Barbie I opened at my dad's house. But the one at my dad's house was from Santa. The one at my mom's house was from my mom, and it was labeled as such. So I said to my parents, I said, wait a minute. If Santa knows everything, he would know that you already bought me this gift, Mom. He would know you bought me the same Barbie, and he would have got me another one, or he would have coordinated with you better. My parents were just very knowingly like, yep, see? Told you, he's real. He's real because you're right. He would have actually coordinated that with us, and he had his own plans. He got it for you, and I just didn't know. And I bought it, and I was so happy, and that's one of my wonderful winter memories. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. Goodbye.
Thank you to Talia for that wonderful Christmas story. Warms my heart thinking about parents lying to their kids about Santa Claus. Our next winter holiday voicemail is a very special message from a man named John Tubb. So take it away, John Tubb.
Hey, this is John Tubb. Just wanted to weigh in with my favorite holiday memory, and that would be when it was actually December 22nd, 4 years ago, my ex-wife and I were finalizing the divorce, and so when I was initiating a download of PDF documents from a website online doing research on aliens and holistic medicine, that download triggered a refresh on my email feed, and I received the PDF of our divorce certificate. So that's what I would say for my favorite holiday memory. Thanks for checking in. All right, bye.
Thank you to John Tubb for that story. And I just want to say, just like our search for aliens is never over. John, Tub, your search for love should never be over either. I want you to get back out there, get back on the horse, get under the mistletoe, and go get yourself a Christmas kiss this year. You can do it, buddy. I believe in you. All right, folks. Well, I think it is finally come to the time of the show where I read from a book. This is a very special holiday edition of this segment. It's time for words. It's time for words. It's time for words. For tonight's segments of words, we are going to go ahead, since it's the holiday special, we're going to go ahead and read from the Orphic hymns, and we are going to read the Orphic hymn for the stars, because my reasoning behind this is, one, we're glitching the Star Wars holiday special in this episode, and two, stars are very important to the Christmas story. You have the wise men who are trying to find the baby Jesus by following the stars. They're essentially astrologers. So anyone who says you can't be a Christian and study astrology, they're lying to your fucking face, because you can tell them the wise men were astrologers and they found Jesus by looking at the stars. Secondly, we put stars on top of Christmas trees. If you don't put an angel on top of the Christmas tree, you put a star. Even Martin Luther, when he invented the Christmas tree, he looked at a pine tree and he saw the stars shining brightly through them. And he's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go home and I'm going to put candles in that tree. It was not very fire safe at all, but that was the first Christmas tree, was putting candles in it. So that's why we're reading For the Stars from the Orphic hymns. And this is the Patrick Dunn translation. I really like this translation a lot. I think you'll like it too. For the Stars. I call for the holy light of the stars in heaven, and with very holy words I invoke the sacred daemons, the stars of heaven, dear children of the black night, whirling in circles round about the throne, flame reflecting parents of all that is, destinies. You are signals of all fates. You lay out the divine path for mortals, overseeing the 7 shining spheres. You wander in the middle air, on earth, in heaven, trailing fire, ever flowing, indestructible, always discerning. The dark-hued tapestry of night, brilliant, sparkling, and gentle in the night, come now to learned contests of holy right, and accomplished for these glorious works the finish of an honorable course. And then there's some notes here. The belief in astrology was extremely widespread throughout all of antiquity, and the course of the stars was regarded as determining or indicating destiny. It is interesting that the rites here are described as a kind of contest or task. Presumably, the initiate was required to accomplish some goal as part of the initiation. There are 7 visible planets or wandering stars in Hellenistic astrology: Luna, Mercury, Venus, Sol, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. These were associated with Greek gods early on in order: Selene, Hermes, Aphrodite, Helios, Ares, Zeus, Kronos. They were also given individual names, sometimes personified, such as Stilbon for Mercury. All right. Well, hopefully everyone enjoyed that reading from the Orphic hymns and enjoyed that special holiday section of the show, holiday segment of the show. You know what it is. It's time for words. It's time for words. It's time for words. We are going to go ahead and play our third and final song of the night. Folks, thank you for sticking around for the holiday special tonight. I hope you really enjoy this song. So this next song is by Jake Jurent, and you can find Jake Jurent's Instagram is jake.jurent on Instagram. So go check out some other music by Jake Jurent, and this again is off of the Lifted Lo-Fi Anniversary Winter Vibes Year 1 album. So go check it out. Go show this album some love. Go show Lifted Lo-Fi Records some love and Jake Jurent. And we will be back with you after this song. Oh, and also the song is called Saloon. I almost forgot that part. All right, that was Saloon by Jake Jurent off of the Lifted Lo-Fi Anniversary Winter Vibes Year 1, which, of course, is streaming on all platforms. Go check it out. I'll also include a link to the album, the Spotify link in the bio, as well as links to the various artists' Instagram accounts. I've just been having a great holiday special, hanging out with all of you, making this art show happen. And I just want to say thank you so much to the musicians who let me use their music on the show. Thank you so much to all the people who called in and left messages on the show. And we actually have one final message, final holiday story for you. This was actually a message left by a person named Sebastian Corvette. I think you're going to really enjoy Sebastian's holiday story. So take it away, Sebastian.
It was Christmas Eve, 1947. It was snowing up a storm, and Mom and my kid sister Katie had just embarked on a long drive to Irwin to get a turkey from Martha Honeycutt for our Christmas dinner. Pa was still at the sawmill, which left me taking care of the new baby, name of Lindley Jacob Corvette. He got the name from Mom's brother who died in the war. I didn't have many recollections of Uncle Lindley, save for the taste of the ginseng candy he would bring me from the A&P in Irwin. He always said those were his favorite treat to sneak into the movie theater, and he promised me I could come with him one day. I was 5 when he went off to war, and never got to go to the movies with him. Those ginseng candies still taste a little bittersweet to me. So I was about to pull Lindley to bed when I heard our old hound dog Lila scratching up a storm at the door. I stepped out to see what had gotten into the girl, and she bolted about 20 feet and turned around looking at me something fierce. Now, I'm not one to ignore a dog that's telling me something, so I threw a coat on, and me and Lindley started following old Lila into what was becoming a real blizzard. We found our way into the woods, and after a while, I started wondering if Lila weren't leading us on a wild goose chase. The snow was coming down hard, and it was getting hard to see. The wind was blowing louder than anything you ever heard, too. Lindley was starting to cry. Making matters worse, the snow was thick, so I lost sight of Lila. I couldn't see nothing. I couldn't hear nothing. I'd begun to fear the worst. Why was I so stupid? Why'd I bring Lindley? I put my hands in my pockets to keep as warm as I could, and I found something unexpected. A piece of ginseng candy. How had it ended up in there? I hadn't had one of those since... And then I heard it. The unmistakable sound of a bell. And not no handbell, neither. A big church bell. It was loud enough to make the wind sound like a whisper. I started towards the sound, and I began to smell something. It smelled like butter, salt, and something else. I couldn't quite put my finger on it. I started running faster. The sound of the bell and those smells were calling to me. I had a feeling in my stomach. In my stomach, Lindley and I would be safe if I found them. The sound of the bell faded, and I started hearing an orchestra playing a wonderful tune that I'd never heard before. I had a feeling in my stomach Lindley and I would be safe if I found them. The sound of the bell faded, and I started hearing an orchestra playing a wonderful tune that I'd never heard before. I reached a gap in the woods, and what I saw, I almost couldn't believe my eyes. A projector and a huge white screen showed a movie. There were 2 seats facing the screen, and each one had a bag of what I knew must be popcorn. Lila was sat down wagging her tail, looking awful pleased with herself. I gave her a few good scratches behind her ears and then sat down with Lindley on my lap to watch my first ever movie. It was the most wonderful thing I'd ever seen. By the time it was over, I was ready to start again, but I knew I had to get home and put Lindley to bed. I glanced over at the seat beside me, and wouldn't you believe it? All the popcorn in the bag was gone. I decided I'd think on this on the way home. So I set off, and Lila led the way. When I got home, Mom, Pa, and Katie were all home worried about me, but I couldn't tell them what happened. I knew they wouldn't believe me. The spirit of Uncle Lindley had been with me that night. He was able to share a movie with me, as well as with his namesake. I later found out that the movie I'd watched was called It's a Wonderful Life, and I always set aside an extra bag of popcorn for Uncle Lindley when I watch it each year.
All right. Thank you to Sebastian Corvette for that wonderful, heartwarming, kind of spooky, kind of like Halloween themed with the ghosts and all, but it's a perfect way to end the show. Hope everyone had a great holiday special at the Omnia Sol Art Show, also known as TOSAS. Thank you again to our musicians. Thank you again to everyone who called in and left their stories. And we will see you probably after the new year. The Omnia Sol Art Show will be back. So keep on a lookout and keep on keeping on. Stay strong, stay safe, and have a happy holidays.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. 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 Merry Christmas.